This news update is brought to you by...
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Get your sun power.
This is the 12 p.m. Barbados Today update for Monday, March 31st, 2014. I'm Kamar Jordan. Emotional scenes at government offices and statutory corporations across the island as the last tranche of workers get their walk-in papers today, the final day of the Friend of Stewart administration's retrenchment exercise. A total of 3,500 civil servants will lose their jobs under the program aimed at reducing the government's high spend on wages. Orion Gilts has been making the rounds today, and he tells us more.
I spoke a bit earlier to the Minister of Labour and Social Security, Senator Dr. Esther Coop, and she told me that yes, the exercise was still ongoing across the public sector. She confirmed too that yesterday, deadline March 31st, that the Prime Minister Friend of Stewart, for that process of retrenchments to be completed. Dr. Barbados said in terms of the numbers, there was no set information as yet available to her on how many were actually getting their papers. Barbados Today has also been checking in with the unions, and the picture that they're taking today as far as the exercise is concerned is that yes, it is ongoing, but there are in some instances, in the case of the BWU, the Deputy General Secretary, Dr. Miss Tony Moore, she told us that they are aware that the deadline has been set, but in some instances, particularly at one statutory institution, they are still engaging in discussion. So that process might be a bit pushed back. That's the picture being painted on this March 31st day, the deadline for retrenchments by the government of Barbados. From the Barbados Community College where I'm at right now, Ryan Jones, Barbados Today.
Thank you, Ryan. Well, lawmen are investigating the cause of an early morning blaze that claimed the life of a 90-year-old man from Cane Vale, Christchurch. Police report that Goldburn Callender, who was a wheelchair-bound amputee, died in the fire, which caused extensive damage to his concrete house around midnight. Callender reportedly lived with 9 other people. Members of the Barbados Fire Service, led by the acting Chief Fire Officer Errol Maynard, along with 3 fire tenders, battled the blaze. In other news at this hour, firemen have been called out to battle a grass fire at St. David's Christchurch, which has resulted in the early closure of the Blackman Garlet Primary School. A small fire at Tanny's on Swan Street this morning also led to the temporary evacuation of workers. That was caused by a burnt-out light fixture, but was quickly brought under control, with workers returning to their posts. Firemen have had to respond to a total of 8 fires this weekend. In other news, this Monday, Barbados was not caught napping when 2 locally based international business firms opted to shut down their operations in the wake of new tax measures imposed by the Canadian government. So says Minister of International Business Donville Innes, who tells Barbados Today the island intends to send a clear message that doing business here is beneficial to source markets such as Canada. Innes says there's no mistaking the island must pursue new markets, but in the meantime, he says the government will be using quiet diplomacy to address the issue.
We are not quarreling with the Canadians. We're not going to pick a fight. The reality about it is that they did what they thought they had to do. Our approach from Barbados' end is to ensure that there is some political dialogue, and I'm hoping that an opportunity presents itself shortly for Barbados to engage with the new Finance Minister, Joe Oliver, around these issues. But there's a lot more work that has to be done among the technocrats and among the beneficial owners and those who are professionals servicing the international centers here.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Get your sun power.
On the regional front, another Trinidad and Tobago government minister lands himself in hot water. less than a week after Prime Minister Kamla Prasad-Bissessar fired her Minister of the People, Glenn Ramdar Singh. Tourism Minister Chandris Sharma is at the center of reports that he assaulted a woman with whom he had a personal relationship. The Acting Commissioner of Police, Stephen Williams, confirms that 30-year-old Sasha Singh, the managing director of a security firm, has filed a report against Sharma. Singh claims she was knocked out after being pushed by Sharma. The report triggered calls from the leader of the Congress of the People, Prakesh Ramadar, for the Prime Minister to fire Sharma. To international news now, an urgent call to action as the United Nations Scientific Panel warns that global warming is on course to spiral out of control. In a new report released today, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change made it clear that if greenhouse gas emissions are not reduced, climate change will worsen existing problems, including poverty, sickness, hunger, low economic growth, and violence. The group of scientists, which last issued their report in 2007, warns that the situation is worse than predicted, and the world will see more impacts faster and sooner than anticipated. Well, on that note, we end our noon update. Join us again at 6 o'clock this evening. Until then, log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, or better yet, like us on Facebook to get more news and sports. I'm Kmar Jordan. Have a great afternoon, and we'll see you again at 6 o'clock.
This news update is brought to you by...
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Cash is on power.